Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here. Today it's another edition of our at-home workout videos, and today we're going to talk about the Bosu ball. So this is just something that kind of was collecting dust, but there are actually a lot of great uses for it. We're not going to be using it for the typical kind of balancing stuff that you may have seen. There's a lot of practical use of it, especially for strength training. I'm going to give you guys some options, especially if you're kind of limited. If this happens to be something you have, there are some great options with it. So the first thing that's a really good option if you don't have like a squat wedge or something like that, if you just kind of put your heels up on the base of this thing, what's nice is again you can kind of adjust your stance no matter what you're doing. But again, I can just use this as a good warm-up, or if I don't have any equipment or if I'm using kettlebells, even like a barbell front squat, I can use this as a nice heel lift, and this is going to make my squats very quad dominant. If I want to hold something out, you know, like a rope or something, I can also kind of do more of like kind of a true sissy squat where I'm really kind of driving the knees forward and then back. So it's a great way to kind of elevate the heels if you're doing kind of like more quad dominant squatting. Again, not actually standing on the ball itself, but just kind of like that black ring portion. That gives me a nice little heel lift. Some other things I like just to kind of add some variety to like your planks, and it's a little more challenging. Again, this is going to be if I want to kind of move my arms, kind of almost like a saw in and out, but this is going to be a little bit more unstable. So make your regular plank a little bit more challenging. I can also flip it over, and I can purposely add some instability to like a push-up position plank. I could put some pressure into my right hand, then my left, put pressure forward and back. I can adjust how many points of contact that I have. I could do some very controlled mountain climbers. So you get a lot more variety with your planks. And then from this same position, I could also do some push-ups. So it's going to really work the shoulder stability, which is a really, really important thing. Something that I need to work on as well. So I can come here and then drive up. And I have to push evenly. If I don't push evenly with both arms, I'm going to fall to one side. I can do these for my knees if I'm a little weaker. If I'm a little bit stronger, I could elevate my feet as well. But great options for all your push-up variations. If I flip it over again, I could also do some tricep extensions with this. I'll probably do this from my knees because it's a challenging movement from here. But it gives me a nice angle to kind of do like a body weight tricep extension. Depending on your size as well, I could also use this just for the weight of the Bosu itself and do some shoulder raises here. I do have to do these higher reps, but for some people, the weight might be okay. I can also grab the handles and I could do one arm at a time for some shoulder raises. Again, because it's a lighter weight, but it is still weighted. So I could do some shoulder raises here or some front raises. So this is actually a decent weight for me, for especially a front raise, if I'm doing one arm at a time. Okay? And for someone who's again a little bit weaker, I could also do some curls for higher reps here. It's something, not for everyone, not for the bigger guys, but for maybe some of the lighter guys or the women out there. It's, again, if you don't have a lot of weights, it's another option here. In terms of calf work, there are some options that you can do for calves. I recommend you hold on to something for this. But you want to kind of get in a deep squat position here. And then I could just do my calves from here. So it's going to really make me work my feet. And again, push evenly. So I could do these from a squatting position like this, or standing So a great variation for calf raises. If you're feeling ambitious, you could try one at a time. So this would probably be the only thing I really use kind of standing on it. Just provide some kind of strengthening for like the feet and the calf muscles. So those are some really good options. Now I want to, some other things that you could do. Now again, I'd probably use something like a couch or a bench first, but I can also use this for things like frog pumps and glute bridges just to elevate my back a little bit. I don't like this as much because it is a little bit unstable, but it can, again, elevate my back. I can also use this for some controlled crunches. Now the benefit of using something like this is I can get a little bit more extension in my back and preload and pre-stretch my abs more. The downside is if you go too fast, you're going to get a bouncing effect, so we don't want that. So you're going to have to go really slow and eccentric, pause for a second, and then pull up. This would be something that I would do if someone wants to get into a crunch and they're a little bit weaker. Again, the benefit is you can pre-stretch the abs a little bit. Not something I will do personally, but it is an option. And then we could do the frog pumps as well. So we could do the frog pumps here. You could do these kind of lower as well. So I'm getting the external rotation component as well as hip extension. So the last thing I want to do with the Bosu, this is probably how I'm going to use, besides the push-ups for me are going to be a factor to help my shoulder stability. The other thing is to use it. So one of the great options that you can use with the Bosu ball is something that's called a Nordic hamstring curl. And if you do have some band assistance, whether it be from a pull-up bar or like a doorway anchor point, using an NT loop here that anchors to the door. Great hamstring exercise. Again, probably not going to have access to a glute ham bench or a GHD, back extension bench, etc. So this can be a great option to train your hamstrings at home. For most people, doing a full bodyweight Nordic hamstring curl is not possible, but most people can do an eccentric only, where I just lower myself slowly and then popping back up like that. Okay, so you could just do eccentric and then come back up, or you could use some assistance from your hands and then actually finish the rep. You could use obviously less band tension here or more band tension here. If you want, I recommend most people to start off grabbing it higher. It's going to give you more tension and pulling it over your neck like this. Eventually you can come lower. It's going to give you less tension, or eventually the least amount of tension is coming through the arms like that. So what we're going to do here is extend out fully. Fire up. So I'm contracting my calf, my ham, and my glute. So even with the assistance from the band, I'm getting a nice hamstring workout here. So that's a great option if you have the Bosu. If I flip around, I can also do some quad extensions. Not my favorite exercise, but it's an option. I know some people like it. Again, I like it with the band assistance. So I'm just kind of using this to kind of pad my knees a little bit. And I'm going to extend up. So I gotta adjust as I have some stuff in my way right now. So I'm gonna adjust upwards a little bit. So I want to try and get as full a stretch as I can in my quads and then fire up. Probably want to have like a yoga mat or something under your feet. Again, for this version, as you get more comfortable with it, I can just come through here like this. Really lean back, fire the quads. So there are some people that can do it without the assistance, but I recommend starting out with some sort of band assistance. So those are some kind of practical ways you can use a Bosu ball for strength training, not just for balance. So it is an effective tool if you use it the right way. You guys can check out the links below if you want to support the program. If you like the video, please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.